Hello, today on this fine Thursday late afternoon. My name is Thomas Leager. You are tuning in to the American Patriot, and believe you me, that is a literal name. I want to start today with some geopolitical, information. The Syrian rebellion has been Monday, the Assad regime had. Let's start with last week. Last week, there was a bomb from the rebellion that actually killed three top military officials who are high-ranking and in the close confines of the Assad regime. Then on Monday, the regime. The actual country itself, which is the regime at the moment, announced that they would use chemical weapons against any foreign power trying to attack at this time. This time meaning the time that is where the rebellion is fighting against the current incumbent power. And then they took it back, and Russia actually backed them with this, that they would, if they do, quote unquote, have chemical weapons, they will use them. So they said if they do, quote unquote, have the chemical weapons, they will use them, which is in line with their past policies, where they've tried to keep the fact that if they do or do not have chemical weapons, they want to keep it secret, and I think somebody slipped the lip and sank their ship, and so the rebellion got into Aleppo and Damascus, and with that, the Assad regime finally snapped. I see it as just snapping, and used gunships, helicopters, fixed wing flying vehicles, airplanes, to strafe, especially gunships, to strafe local neighborhoods, mortar fire into local neighborhoods where they didn't know if the rebellion was or not, and if there were civilians, they didn't care. So I don't see who's the bad guy here, the rebellion or the actual incumbent regime under Assad. I see Assad as the bad guy. He doesn't care if he's hurting his own people. He doesn't care if he's hurting who he's hurting. He wants to stay in power, and once the rebellion got into Aleppo and Damascus, he really snapped the branch of peace, because he doesn't want to lose his power, which is understandable, because most dictators do not want to lose their power. And then from there we have Israel saying that if the Syrian rebellion gets a hold of any of the chemical weapons, that is Caucus Belli, which Belai or something like that, Caucus Belli or something like that, which means a red line, which if crossed, they will use force, as well as the UN, the US, etc. Israel especially scared because they're surrounded by countries that are being put under Muslim control. I'd be scared too, but the thing is, if I wouldn't be scared, I wouldn't be as scared if I wasn't the person being the aggressor for over a couple decades. You know, stealing land in Gaza, Palestine, stealing Palestine itself, etc., etc. Now we got Obama. We got the Aurora shootings. Let's talk about the Aurora shootings in Colorado. Well, we have these shootings, and it's giving fuel for some writers to say that Obama and Romney need to talk about, as candidates, they have a responsibility to talk about gun control. For me, gun control equals civilian control. It equals control of a population could or would. Sorry, sirs. Population that could or would fight against its own government to keep its freedoms, which I see as not a bad thing. The Second Amendment, I don't care if it's semi-automatics, automatic weapons. You have a right to have them, and if you do something illegal with them, that's when you get prosecuted. You can't. It's not the born identity. It's not. It's not. A thing where we can predict or prosecute somebody or stop. You can't take guns away just because somebody might do something. Guns don't kill people. People kill people. We can't take guns away, because if we take guns away then and only give them to the law enforcement, military, the only people that will have guns are the military, law enforcement, and criminals, because they will get guns no matter what. Yeah, it might stop crazy loonies from getting guns, but the crazy loonies could also get guns from the criminals, and that's it's. The thing is, people need to be armed and need to be armed, informed, and patriotic, and need to know that they have the right to overthrow their government if their government is not serving their interests. And that's the big thing, serving your interests. If the government is not serving your interests, it is not a government worth preserving. I also thought of Columbine and a couple other shootings with this. There's nothing you can really do. You can't predict, and that's what the newspapers have been doing. That can we predict? Can we do this? Can we do that to stop this? You can't, unless you have a crystal ball that will show you everything and anything bad that will ever happen. You can't, and that doesn't mean you can take guns and gun rights away from regular citizens. We cannot step on the Constitution any more than we have. What we need to do is take the foots that have the feet that have stepped on the Constitution off of it, clean it off, dust it off, put it where it should be in a sacred place, and reestablish what should be our most formal and final laws, which is the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, any amendments. I'm still kind of on the fence about, because there's some amendments that are completely horrible, and there's some amendments that are completely great. I want to allow people to call in with their thoughts. The phone number is 414-935-2951. If you have any statements, comments, arguments against what I say, I'd like to embrace that and talk to you, and maybe convince you otherwise, or maybe you could convince me otherwise. I see patriotism as being somebody who's open to knowledge, open to freedom. Hold on one second. Hello. What's up? Hello? Yep. Bye. Alright, Anthony, I accidentally called my cell phone instead of my actual radio phone number, which is 414-935-2951. We have our usual call-in, Anthony. Anthony, PFC, private first class, son of a gun patriot like me. Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yep, crazy right-winger, son of a gun.
Yeah, so Anthony, what's been going on in your world this whole week of craziness in the globe?
Really hot temperatures. Extremely hot temperatures.
See, the thing is, we've been having the opposite. We've had a lot of rain and low temperatures, except I work at Sweetwater Organics, which is an old PNH welding facility, and it's hotter than Hades with a Samhain heat in it. And I tend to sweat a lot more than other guys, so they usually call me Pigpen. But that's neither here nor there. So Anthony, what's been going on the base?
Not too much.
No.
Obviously, a lot of mindless banter about Aurora, Colorado.
Yeah, I understand the severity and the sadness over it, but the thing is, I think papers are stringing it out way too much. Like, okay, it's bad, it happened, let's leave well enough alone. I don't see the reason for so much. Oh my God, tears, cry,
much
everybody
discussion?
feels sorry. I mean, every day overseas, there's more than 12 wounded, 58, or I'm sorry, 12 dead or so, and 58 wounded. There's 100. Look at Iraq this week, with 119 dead, from Iraqi Al Qaeda trying to cause chaos and try to regain strength in Iraq. I mean, it's bad, but it's not like we should. It seems like America takes things and makes it seem like it's so much worse when it happens here, because this is a lawful democratic state, which I don't see it as that much democratic anymore. But what do you want to say about the whole whole Aurora thing that I just commented on?
You have a crazy guy who had access to weapons, shoots 60 people, kills 12. That's an isolated incident. I don't think the American people should be penalized because I don't.
Okay.
Hold on. I want to put it into perspective.
All right.
If you have a populace of 300 million people, okay, and I don't even care if there is one of those every single day. That's 365 people who are that insane, just absolutely crazy. You know, I don't see how that should negate the fact that there's still going to be just short of, how
Exactly.
100 million or gun owners who are responsible and don't shoot people in movie theaters and call themselves the Joker. You know what I mean? Like, how can
well, the thing is, they didn't actually confirm that he called himself the Joker. Actually, there is a Batman graphic novel that was made a couple of years back. I forget exactly when, where a goggle-eyed young man with orange hair shoots up a movie theater, and Batman comes out of retirement to stop him. I believe that that's what this young man was trying to portray.
Yeah, he's trying to emulate that.
Trying to emulate that graphic novel.
He's trying to emulate a graphic novel based off a fictional character called Batman. I mean, think about that.
And the thing is,
the guy has problems.
Okay, and the thing is, a lot of people that died gave up their lives for somebody else. There was a couple guys that jumped in front of their girlfriends, so on and so forth, and they died to save somebody else. And I see that as a good thing. I don't see that the American people have to be penalized, per se, and have their own safety compromised by having semi-automatic. Okay, so you have a semi-automatic weapon. It's either to protect your home, your family, from an intruder, to protect yourself and others from a government that's run amok, which is protecting yourself from an intruder is probably the most common. Protecting yourself from a government run amok is probably more of our whole field, but it should be on the same scale. We won't talk about
higher.
Yeah, actually, yeah, but whatever. Shit happens.
Yeah.
So, what I'm saying is, Oh, wait. Actually, I want to talk to you guys about making sure that you look for the American Patriot and tell your friends and family that are out of state, etc., about the American Patriot and that they can find it on iTunes. You got an icon on there, etc., etc. Sorry for going off topic, but yeah, because I want our message to get out to as many people as possible that there is a monster from Jekyll Island running amok, trying to create a certain type of world. But yeah, let's get back to what we're talking about. Okay, so Kim Jong Un, whatever, is seen with a woman that nobody knows who she is, and finally there's some information released from the tight lips of North Korea, and I guess that's his wife, and she was seen with him and military advisors watching Disney characters on stage as they all clapped profusely.
For
And
Disney characters.
yeah, for Disney characters, and they were also seen watching the opening slash, I don't know if it was the construction or opening of the Rangna or something, people's pleasure grounds, and that's what, and it was in North Korea that the actual marriage of these two was announced, but it was very nonchalant. They put it in between, the Aurora killings and NSYNC is breaking up, type stuff.
Right.
Especially in North Korea, that's big stuff. Justin Timberlake dances Thriller with Britney Spears. That's one of the highlights of their lives. But let's go back to some serious business. Okay, so say you're Israel right now, Anthony. What? Okay, I want you to give me two different opinions right now. Say you're Israel as it is right now, and say you're Israel with a conscience. Give me Israel right now. Right now's answer to what's happening in the Middle East, and then give me the answer of an Israel that actually has a conscience. I'd like two answers, sir.
I don't even want to answer that question, mostly because, it just disseminates anti-Semitism. Well, not intentionally, but people automatically.
Yeah. Okay. I will.
I'm anti-Semitic. I think
Israel
is an unworthy state on lands that's not theirs, and I think they should give it back to the Palestinian people.
But, sir, it was their land back in BC, before Christ, and when things happened, and Noah's Ark and stuff.
Okay, well, we're talking in the past 2,000 years. For the most part, that's been Palestinian land. For the better part of 2,000 years.
Sir? So you believe that the Earth is more than, what is it, 4,000 years old?
No, I don't. I think I'm a young Earth creationist. I think the Earth is 6 to 10,000 years old.
Sir, sir, I don't think we can have you on this show anymore, because you, sir, are a heathen.
Right.
Yep.
No, I just think Israel's worthless. I think
and anybody who really wants to just call this anti-Semitic, we're not calling Jews worthless. We're calling Israel the state worthless, because it's been on the aggression since what year was that? 1960 something or 1970 something, when when Egypt and Israel had that war for the Gaza Strip. Sounds like New York Strip. Like it's a steak. Like, I want some Gaza Strip.
I love me some Gaza.
I want me some Gaza. Cut me off a piece of that. But Israel says, I don't just want a piece, I want the whole thing. I bleeped my own self there. So Anthony,
I want to make a. I think it's funny that last time you said the S word, same thing as last week. As soon as you dropped it, you made a comment about how you can be found on iTunes because you're not. You guys don't, or your show doesn't have that much vulgarity.
Sir, I would like you not to comment on any of that, or else I will not be able to be found on iTunes.
Oh, 1967.
1967.
That's the same year that the USS was attacked by planes that only Israel had at the time.
Exactly. Another thing that that you'll be able to find on my show sooner than later, hopefully, is sounds. If I get the laptop, I'll be able to make sounds like weenie in the butt, weenie in the butt, weenie in the butt in the morning, and and what else will I be able to do? I'll be able to play music. As long as it's not copyrighted by anybody that's famous.
So basically,
basically nobody. Basically me playing guitar and such, which I don't mind actually. Actually, the stuff that we can get is sometimes better than regular music that you get, mainstream from 102.9, etc. If you're in Milwaukee, I have no clue what Georgia's stations are.
I don't either. I don't either.
You probably know more about Milwaukee stations and their morning shows than you do about Georgia's radio completely.
Right.
But yeah,
I want to bring up something about Syria because I didn't really get to talk about it.
Okay, yeah, actually, yeah, do that.
Have you noticed that the countries or elements, factions, the countries that support the rebellion, the uprising, are all for the most part are what Americans would consider,
terrorists.
Scum. Yeah, the terrorists, exactly. But the ones who support the regime, they're all countries that, we would consider scumbags too, I guess, like China and Russia and Venezuela. These are all countries that people are outspoken against in a lot of different aspects.
Hey, one thing, there's something I want to talk about. Yesterday, I watched for I've seen the movie a couple times, but I'm sure you have. The movie JFK by Oliver Stone, copyrighted by Oliver Stone. JFK, copyrighted by Oliver Stone.
You can't even use the name.
That was
professional.
Burp, copyrighted by Anthony Malio. Burp, right. Copyrighted by Anthony Malio. But JFK, copyrighted by Oliver Stone. I watched it the other day, and it just strikes me as Donald Sutherland's character. Have you seen it, Anthony?
No, I've never seen it.
You've never seen JFK? You need to. You need to. I guarantee it'll be a masturbation-worthy endeavor. For your political mind. It really enlightens a lot of points on JFK's assassination that you really wouldn't, you would probably consider, but it gives a lot more enlightenment to it than you naturally find. Donald Sutherland plays I don't quote me on this, an ONI agent, which is something of Navy intelligence, operational Navy intelligence or something like that. And he tells how he how he did all these Black Ops missions up until the Bay of Pigs, and then Kennedy wanted to draw out of Vietnam, and all the military-industrial complex, Sacred Cows, got real pissed, and they came up with a plan to get rid of him. And during the week that John F. Kennedy was assassinated, this certain high-ranking ONI officer, which is played by Donald Sutherland, is sent to Antarctica to escort some people that could be escorted by Secret Service members or anybody, really. And then he comes back and finds out that the whole thing was carried out completely. And this ONI officer or Secret Service officer, I don't know exactly what he was, but played by Donald Sutherland, was actually he would have been in charge of the escort for JFK, and that's why they sent him away, because he would have never let him turn that corner in Dealey Plaza. He would have never told certain Secret Service officers to stand down. There would have been no triangulation of fire. There would have been no chance of you would have felt a military presence. Instead in Dealey Plaza that day, it felt like a turkey shoot where you could just bam bam, thank you ma'am. You really need to look into it, and I see that as another tentacle of I see the Jekyll Island beast, as I call it, as it has a couple tentacles. It has the Federal Reserve, 1913, which really does it, but the Federal Reserve kind of sneakily just does its thing. And then we have World War II, the military-industrial complex sneaks in there and has a big muscular arm, really, really big tentacle that's just slapping shit in the face.
Right.
And then we have the and then we grow the lobbyist arm. It's still in its tadpole-like stages right now, but still doing its thing. And where it's growing from is this whole center of money, greed, and influence, which is old money from the beginning of the United States to date. Masonic connections, Skull and Bones connections. Do not talk to me about the Illuminati, because I'll slap you down. Because the Illuminati, if I saw actual proof, yeah, I'd tell you, okay, yeah, they might be involved. But I do see some Masonic and secret society, Skull and Bones type stuff. But I see it all as the same beast that's just broiling and trying to. It starts out in Europe and comes to America, and until Woodrow Wilson, it really didn't break through. It chipped away, but it didn't really break through into our government. What do you think about that, Anthony? Give me something profound here.
How profound?
Dude, just go off on a tangent.
All right, I'm going to go off on a tangent. It's related somewhat, but not entirely connected to what you were just talking about.
Definitely. I don't care. I really don't care.
Ron Paul proposed a bill auditing the Federal Reserve. I don't know if you heard about it.
It has been going through. It actually has been having some success.
Yeah. It passed with an overwhelming majority. That's awesome. That's a step in the right direction, if you think about it. And that those fat cats are
slobs
in their seats because people are going to go to jail.
Definitely.
If it's a legit audit, if it's a non-biased audit,
but that's the one thing, is I'm scared that it's not going to be a legit audit. But keep going on.
Like they'll have Ben Bernanke, the chairman.
Bernanke? You mean Ben Bernanke?
Yeah, he'll be like the chairman of the
of cocksucking.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Thunder in the background. But no,
that thunder. Was that thunder because of what I said, or because of
God smites you?
God smites my. Okay, this show is not going to be available on iTunes, sirs and madams.
This show will.
This show will not be available unless you listen to it right now. You are not getting this show, sirs and madams. I really wish I had a bleep button because like today has been so bad that like I'm having a hard time controlling my. What is it like in my mental bleep button? But keep going. Anthony, if you hear me starting to swear, can you like try to like be like bleep?
Yep.
All right, but you're probably not gonna be able to. Yeah, you're probably not gonna be able to succeed. But keep going. I'm sorry about that, listeners. About my. Whoa.
Yeah, I'm outside.
God's wrath is really coming down on you, sir.
While I'm calling into the show, that's the whole reason why I'm there. We're live.
What the hell was that?
That was my wife.
Okay,
This
please.
show has run amok this week.
I am sorry we have run amok.
We need some damn golf shoes. There's no.
How
footing
can I
in this
walk?
muck.
There's no footing in this muck. What are those damn golf shoes? We had
Hold on, I just wanted to. Ben Bernanke warns that the bill could expose the Fed to political pressures.
What?
Now,
Really?
Bernanke,
Really?
I think it's the American people's right to create its own currency. I thought that.
I think it's the American people's right to put federal pressure on a piece of crap private institution that's screwing them in the bung with a big black nightstick.
Right. I think it's awesome that it passed the House, and you know what? It'll probably get shot down. I'm sure.
You know, yeah, dude. There's.
I'm sure Obama will veto it immediately because he's been known to be like one of the what?
There's one thing that I think Obama said he'd veto as well, or filibuster. Was that the Patriot Act? Oh yeah, he didn't. He said he did. He said he would, but he didn't. What's another promise Obama said he'd do? No lobbyists in his cabinet. More Wall Street lobbyists than anybody ever.
Yeah, he's known as probably the most Wall Street executive favoring president of all of them.
Do you know what? I think there's okay, so George W. Bush had Dick Cheney's hand up his bung, and Obama has, George W. Bush had Dick Cheney and the Bilderberg Group's hands up his bung, and Obama has several different lobbyist groups, Wall Street, and the Bilderberg Group. All their hands are up his bung. He must be wider than the Niagara Falls. He's been raped, sirs.
Right.
Raped with extreme prejudice. All right, this show has officially been banned from the network.
Yep, we've been officially banned.
Sirs, if I am back next week,
receive your citation for $10,000 per obscenity.
Oh wait! Wait! We're not regulated by the FAA. Or FAA?
FCC.
I'm sorry.
FCC.
FCC. FAA, FCC, whoever, whatever, who cares? We're not regulated by the FCC as of now.
Why would you want to be regulated by one of the most?
But the only reason is because then we could get actual radio play. But I see it as if we stay on this radio network, I think because I have a lot of people that at least I tell to tune in. I don't know how many really do, but this will be the last swearing fiasco that I'm gonna do because I want to stay going on iTunes because I need to spread a word that actually means something. But today has been so horrible that I just need to vent, and this is my show as far as I know right now. Unless I get out of here and they say don't ever come back.
Don't you? I don't want to see your ugly, yellow, no good keister on my property ever again.
Where is that from?
That's from Home Alone. Get your ugly, yellow, no good keister off my property before I pump your guts full of lead. All right.
And that's not even a real person saying that. That's from like a 1930s movie.
Yeah.
Or when they have the... Dude, we're completely getting off the subject. What the heck?
You gotta just have a goofy show once in a while.
Yeah, I guess. We gotta loosen it up. Loosey like a goosey. I think there's this guy outside with a tuxedo jacket and a top hat, and I think I am going to have to get a tuxedo or a top hat. That top hat is...
Yeah.
Yeah. Any patriot needs a top hat.
Why do they call it a top hat? There's no such thing as a bottom hat.
Yeah, like, what are you going to put it on your butt? Like, this is my bottom hat.
I need to get a left hat.
I need to get a right hat. I need to get a underneath the right side hat. I was going to say something completely profound. Okay, yeah. It's not really profound, but whatever. I'm going to be getting off soon because I think these guys are looking to get on. Oh, I still have like 20 minutes, whatever.
Yeah, we do.
So, excuse me. I drew up a thing saying that I can talk about Sweetwater Organics as much as I want. They're gonna sign it, and I'm gonna give it to the station, so then I can promote my.
What?
Sweetwater Organics is. I'm gonna write up a contract, and they're gonna sign it, giving me the right to talk about Sweetwater Organics whenever I want on my show. I want to give a shout out to them. We're the only aquaponic urban farm in the world right now, making a difference in the local food industry that we have.
Or lack thereof.
Lack thereof, yeah, definitely. And I was gonna talk to you about, I have a teacher, Mr. Michael Ellery, who I've been trying to friend on Facebook, who was one of my inspirations for some of the political jargon that I spit here today, and especially because I used to not be very interested in American history as a whole.
Yeah, I remember that.
He really livened it up for me, and I want to give a shout out to him. And I'd like you know what, Anthony? I want you right now to just splurge anything that's going on in your head that you really need to get off your chest, that you really want people to know.
I think I've already talked about it, but I just want to press the point.
Hey, maybe talk about gosh, what's his name? You keep telling me his name, and I can't remember his name. The guy who thinks Ron Paul didn't go far enough. That's going to be on the ballot.
Oh, Ron Johnson, Gary Johnson.
Yep.
Listen, people. You listen and you listen good.
Listen here and listen now.
Right. You listen now and you listen in the present tense.
Hear my face, but listen not. Look at him, but hear me.
I am endorsing a political figurehead of the great state of New Mexico. He was the governor of New Mexico for 2 terms, and in the 2 terms that he served, he vetoed more bills than every other governor at the time in his 2 terms combined.
Really?
And he was known as Governor Veto. That's what they called him, because he was
governor of New Mexico. Was he the guy that he was the governor of New Mexico when? No.
He was the governor in the early 2000s.
Okay, so he wasn't the one that
up until
he wasn't the
up
one
until a
that started
couple
the whole immigration thing, was he?
yeah, he had some well, according to Bleeding Hearts, he was an intolerant libertarian, but that's
Oh yeah, you know, because we should give social, because we should give,
you know what I mean?
yeah, because we should give Social Security to people that don't pay into it, and we should also keep paying for people to pop out babies like chiclets, and bankrupt our government, and we should also take away the right to have a gun, and we should also take away any right that anybody has for anything that's even remotely going to be endangering the political spectrum that is the massive nut hold that they have on the American people right now, that is the U.S. government.
He was initially elected. His first term started in 1994, and I just wanted to add that.
What's his? It's Gary what now?
Gary Johnson. He was initially,
Gary Johnson, sir, I salute you.
He's legit. He's a strong libertarian, and I think his record as the governor of a state pretty much reflects his views of how a government should be ran.
But I think is he also a constitutional
Yes, 100% constitutionalist. Like there's no gray area.
Good. I'm gonna be getting off here a little bit early for you guys, cause I got some stuff to do before I get home tonight. Next Thursday, I'm gonna have a complete plan lined out. I want to touch on more of the geopolitical spectrum. I'm expecting Anthony to call in a little bit earlier, if not in the beginning of the show, because I'm going to actually outline the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel world politics or geopolitics, what they've been talking about throughout the whole week. So I want to give a shout out to Sweetwater Organics, the only aquaponics that I know and love, and this is the I think what you would call the supervisor or manager of Sprout Production. I want to give a shout out to Paul. I want to give a shout out to Alex. I want to give a shout out to Gary Johnson. That's his name?
Yep, Gary Johnson.
Gary Johnson. I want to give a shout out to him. I want to give a shout out to Ron Paul for being such a pimp Mac Daddy since 1980 whatever. If not before that. And Anthony, what do you got to say?
Gary Johnson, all 50 ballots. For all 50 states, or on all 50 states ballots.
All 50 ballots.
To him, a libertarian, making it, making true constitutionalist dream a reality. Hopefully, he'll get elected, even though that's. Anyways, yeah. Shout out to River West Radio, Sweetwater Organics, Ron Paul for life, Ron Paul 2012. But if I'm sorry, one more thing. Gary Johnson is my contingency plan for...
Yeah, he's now my contingency plan. You gave me a contingency plan. I was without guidance. I was a ship without a rudder until you told me about Gary Johnson, sir.
He belongs to the Libertarian Party. He is the Libertarian candidate.
Thank you, sir.
I should say. So, yeah. And one more thing. Mitt Romney had a guy climb Mount Everest with a banner that said Romney 2012. Gary Johnson actually climbed Mount Everest in real life. BTW.
All right, Romney, you suck. And Obama, you just...
Romney, you're a liberal.
You're not
Obama,
even...
You're a liberal, too.
Obama, you're just not even I don't even need to talk about you because you just insult yourself all the time.
Right.
But I want to express my deepest and most sympathetic apologies for any of the uncouth words and actions of this here recording. It has none of what I have expressed or said has anything to do with River West Radio or their ethics or standards. They don't believe in anything that I believe in. They might in some, but I cannot speak for River West Radio. And they don't believe in any of the stuff that especially the swear words, the curses.
Right.
Watch the Hutterites, because it's a really good show. Alright, Nee. I'm gonna shut off my show now, and I'll talk to Claudia about turning me on next week. Alright, you guys have a great week, and stay solid, stay political, start looking at what your surroundings are doing, and look at the political spectrum of how you're getting rammed in the butt with big black political nightstick. Thank you, sirs. Thank you, Anthony. Talk to you later. Bye.
Yep. Peace.